When it comes to women, there are certain things you absolutely must do, and there are things you must avoid at all costs. Since we started this series, I've been telling you what you should do. But let me tell you something. Even if you are as charming as Brad Pitt, if you make the mistakes I'm about to reveal, you will never see that girl again. Let me explain this with a story. A young man was sitting in a park one afternoon when he noticed a very attractive woman reading a book on a nearby bench. The moment he saw her, he thought to himself, I need to talk to her. But as soon as he considered approaching her, a flood of negative thoughts filled his mind. What if I say something stupid? What if she rejects me? Fear froze him in place, and before he could do anything, she closed her book and walked away. He sat there frustrated, angry at himself for missing the opportunity, but he wasn't ready to give up. After some thought, he realized she visited the park regularly. Determined, he decided he would return the next day and finally talk to her. The next day, he saw her again in the same spot. But just like before, when it came time to make a move, fear took over. He stood frozen, staring at her from a distance, unable to take a single step forward. This went on for several days. Each day, he promised himself, today will be the day. Each day, he ended up frozen, watching her leave. Finally, after about a week, he pushed himself to approach her. Nervously, he walked up to her bench, pretending to be interested in the book she was reading. He stammered awkwardly, Is that book any good? She looked up, smiled politely, and said, Yes, it's one of my favorites. Encouraged by her response, he tried to continue the conversation, but his nervousness made it difficult. A few uncomfortable minutes later, she excused herself and left. Despite the awkwardness, he was encouraged. She hadn't dismissed him. He returned the next day, hoping to build on their conversation. But each time, his anxiety got the better of him. The conversations remained short, awkward, and strained. After persistent effort, he finally convinced her to go on a date. But what happened next was a disaster. He became increasingly attached and insecure. He started visiting the park multiple times a day, obsessing over whether she liked him. His emotions swung wildly depending on how much attention she gave him. Eventually, feeling overwhelmed, he decided to confess. After another awkward conversation, he blurted out, I really like you and would love to take you out. Her response? I'm flattered, but I really just see you as a friend. I don't want to ruin that, he was crushed. Still, he continued pursuing her, but every time he brought up dating, she gently but firmly said no. Over time, she started to distance herself. She spent less time in the park, and when she did come, she seemed preoccupied. So, where did he go wrong? By analyzing his behavior, we can see he displayed several traits of a low-value male, which destroyed his chances. Here are the biggest mistakes he made. Putting her on a pedestal, he thought she was special just because she was attractive. High-value men never give a woman too much importance simply because of her looks. Personality and presence matter far more than beauty. When you act like you don't revolve around her looks, you immediately become that special, different guy, the type women notice. Agreeing too much to keep her comfortable. Many men believe they should always agree with a woman to keep her happy. That's a trap. Constant agreement gives off a weak vibe. It signals that you are insecure and desperate for approval. Women want a challenge. If you agree with everything she says, you remove that challenge and destroy attraction. Seeking her approval, this is a major red flag. The moment she realizes you are seeking her approval, she loses interest. Attraction isn't something she controls. High-value men do not seek validation from women. Let her talk, make her the center of attention, and don't try to convince her you're the best. Your actions should speak for themselves. Revealing your feelings too early, never tell a woman how you feel too soon. If you say, I love you or I'm into you early on, she feels like she has conquered you. The tension, mystery, and attraction instantly disappear. Keep her guessing, let her invest emotionally, and never be too available mentally or emotionally too early. Solving her problems. This is one of the biggest mistakes men make. Women do not want you to solve their problems. When you try, you fall straight into the friend zone. Listening is fine, solving is not. Helping her too much communicates low value, and she begins to see you as a nice guy, not a potential lover. Acting completely disinterested. Some men overdo the disinterest act, thinking it makes them look mysterious. But complete disinterest comes off as rudeness. The right balance is showing a mix of interest and subtle disinterest, keeping the interaction playful and slightly unpredictable. Example: you look cute in this dress, although pink would have looked better. Notice? Interest plus mild disinterest, pakrakars, playful tension. Sharing your problems or insecurities. Never tell a woman about your struggles, failures, or insecurities. It kills attraction. Women want to see strength and resilience. If you share a weakness, do it humorously, like joking about yourself. That shows confidence, not neediness. Giving direct yeses too easily, never be too easy to get. Always make her work for your approval or agreement in small ways. If she asks to do something, respond with a slight condition or a playful alternative. This keeps the attraction alive, losing emotional control. If she insults you, teases you, or behaves unpredictably, never lose your cool. Emotional control is the cornerstone of high-value masculinity. Reacting angrily or emotionally signals low value and gives her the power to control your feelings. Now, let's be honest. I know this story might sound familiar because, truthfully, that young man was me. I made all these mistakes, but I learned from them, and I'm sharing them with you so you don't repeat the same errors. High-value men observe, listen, respond with emotional intelligence, and maintain self-control. They are confident, mysterious, playful, and never desperate. And the best part? These principles work with women, but also in building strong connections with people in general. If you want, I can also make a follow-up video just script showing exactly how to approach women, ask emotional questions, and build attraction in real-life scenarios, step by step. That one will be full of actionable examples.